got Ben Solak right now of ESPN. He's the analyst. He just did his, I think, first draft cycle with the world leader in ESPN. How hard did that post-show Wendy's hit on Friday night?
I mean, like, too hard, gastrointestinally speaking. I hadn't eaten anything, and then I drank a bunch of coffee and then ate Wendy's. Probably not the best decision, but it was one of those things where I'm very proud of the show. It was a lot of work, a lot of hard work. It was a good show, and so then I just wanted to eat food that you usually try not to eat a little bit of pig slop, and it felt pretty good.
Yeah, I love that for you. Your reaction to the Chicago Bears picking Luther Burden is unbelievable. Please explain this, Face.
I thought we were maxed out on weapons. I thought we had DJ Moore and we had Rome Odunze and we had Colston Loveland and we had Cole Kmet. I thought I understood how the personnel was going to work, and we were going to be a heavy 12 personnel team and who was going to get the targets. And then they drafted a receiver in the top 50. And all of a sudden you have to go, okay, am I misunderstanding something about how the team wants to use DJ Moore? Am I misunderstanding how much 12 personnel do they want to be in? What's Cole Kmet's future and all this? Like, is Burden a slot player for them? And does that move DJ Moore to the outside? Or is Burden a field stretcher for them? And does that move Rome Odunze into more underneath stuff? It shook up my understanding of the Bears passing game. I thought it was going to work. So when I saw it, I was perplexed. I don't mind over investing in weapons when you have a young quarterback, but it's a very crowded room right now.
Well, you can never have enough weapons, Ben. That's it.
That is true, but also sometimes in week 13, when it turns out you really needed like a linebacker and you had a second round pick wide receiver and he's only playing 15 snaps, that's when you sort of worry about the resource allocation.
I don't know. I feel like this is like, Jahmyr Gibbs and Laporta. This is just very Ben Johnson. Like everyone was like, what are they doing? Like too many weapons. No, that's just kind of what they do. Flex, love it. So that Face wasn't about Luther. It was about what you thought and understood about the usage and what the scheme and all that was going to be. Good to point out. Let's kick it back to Thursday night. We've got your round one winners on the screen right here. There we go. The theme is, already good teams getting better. Why are the Ravens and Eagles two perfect fits in these great values?
Yeah, so as we got closer and closer to the draft and Thursday night, it felt more and more like Malachi Starks was the guy the Ravens wanted to target at that position. You started to see it a lot on draft boards, them taking him there. They have in Kyle Hamilton such a unique weapon, such an interesting safety. One of the things that people misunderstand about versatile defensive players, and especially versatile safeties, is that if you have one versatile guy and then 10 other dudes who just have to be in a specific role, you lose the versatility of the 11th guy. You lose the advantage of it because you already know, okay, when Kyle Hamilton is running next to our Darius Washington, who played safety for them last year, is a much smaller body. Kyle has to be the guy going into the box against the run. He has to be the guy over the tight end because Washington can't do that. So now the fact that Hamilton can do so much more stuff, you kind of lose the juice from that. Insert Malachi Starks, who could literally like play slot corner tomorrow at the NFL and be fine, but he's at the safety position. He runs well in the box. He's excellent from the deep middle. He's got good instincts, got good range. He has the sort of versatility that unlocks a new level of Kyle Hamilton. So I thought that approach was very smart. And then the Eagles at 31 with Jahad Campbell, again, talking about versatility, a guy who can play off ball and on ball, the linebacker position, very similar to Zach Bond in that Vic Fangio defense. And in classic Eagles fashion, stopping the fall of a player who, presumably was going to be a top 15, top 20 pick before the labrum issue popped up after the combine. And so Howie season, in the sense of we're going to take a risk on an injured guy and maybe get some good bang for our buck. And then also Vic Fangio season, because very good scheme fit for what they do there in Philadelphia.
We love to hear it. Seahawks are on the list, I noticed. I know you like the Gray Zabel pick, player scheme. We get all of that. When it comes to Jaylen Milroe, what do you make of the fit from scheme and development standpoint?
So I think that the cool thing about the scheme right now is that Clint Kubiak, who's now the offensive coordinator with Seattle, was previously in New Orleans, and he had Taysom Hill there. And they did a lot of short yardage running stuff with Taysom Hill. Obviously, they lined him up a tight end too. I don't expect that with Milroe. But they would go, empty backfield, Taysom Hill in the gun, and just run quarterback power, right? On 4th and 1, just say we have a 220-pound guy and we're going to put 10 blockers on the line of scrimmage and win on 11-11 football. You're going to be able to do that with Milroe. The passing game aspect, there's a lot of play action and long dropbacks from under center, stuff that Milroe really did not do at the Alabama level. There's a lot of anticipation throws over the middle and layered throws between linebackers and safeties, stuff that he did not do at Alabama. Alabama did not like him on horizontal breaking routes. They wanted it all to be verticals or comebacks and curls. And so the passing menu is very different. It's going to take some time for him to acclimate to that. I wouldn't be surprised to see a year one running package behind Sam Darnold. And then in year two, Sam's contract is still very reasonable, and he should still probably be the starter. But that's where you'll see maybe Milroe start to more so push for that starting job.
Do you think Shedeur starts week 1? I asked Keekly the same question. He says he has the opportunity. All but said it. Will you say it? Will he be the week 1 starter?
I don't know. I don't think he will be. He is a 5th round pick. And 5th round picks don't start in week 1. Like that's extremely rare to happen. I will say of the 5th round picks in the world, he's the most likely to start in week 1 because the Browns quarterback room is very bad. And obviously he has the talent that is far greater than a 5th round pick. But one of the things about the NFL draft and managing locker rooms and managing personalities and the whole drama of the Shedeur fall is you don't really want to be in a position where your 5th round quarterback has this like big drumbeat from the fan base and maybe even in the building to go be the starter.
Remember he's a Brown. Now remember, we can't exactly go with what usually happens. That's a strange locker room and culture as it is, just is unprecedented in a lot of ways, dealing with stuff they deal with stuff a little different. And then the Shedeur thing is different, right? He slid. It was an epic slide, biggest in NFL history, in my opinion, and I think everyone's opinion. So like it is a little different. Should we be applying like normal precedent and culture and all that to this?
No, I agree. I very much agree. I think he's more likely than every other 5th round pick to start, but I still would not say that it is likely. It's a high % chance, like especially because of how crowded the room is. It's not like the Will Howard thing with the Steelers, where we thought the Steelers would go quarterback maybe in round 1 or round 3, and they only go in round 6. Okay, but Howard, like, there's nobody else in that room. It's Mason Rudolph, it's Skylar Thompson. Like Howard can come in and legit win that job. Shedeur's got to beat out Flacco and Pickett and Gabriel. There's just not a lot of snaps in training camp to do that. There's not a lot of snaps in the preseason to get that done, right? You have to share the ball so much in that exploratory period of August. And so I don't think it's likely Shedeur starts in week 1. I do think that if somebody non-Shedeur starts in week 1, that person will play poorly because Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, I don't have a lot of faith in that quarterback room. And I think, again, you're going to hear that drumbeat for Shedeur. So I would be surprised if we don't see a Shedeur start sometime in the 2025 season. I just don't think it'll be week 1.
So not a lot of competition. He can beat out everybody is basically what you're saying, because don't have a lot of faith in the quarterback room, but because of just the management of personalities.
Because he's a 5th round pick, and B, even though it's not stiff competition, there is a lot of competition because of all the mouths to feed, right? Shedeur's going to get remarkably fewer throws of the football in an average training camp practice than the average QB3 would, because he's QB4, and accordingly, it's going to be harder for him to kind of gain ground on the other guys in the room.
Well said. From Shedeur to Travis, benefits to both teams in the Browns-Jags first-round trade. Which side do you think came out on top in that one?
I lean the Jaguars side because as general manager James Gladstone believes, I think Travis Hunter is generational, actually, right? That's a word I try not to use because we overuse it. Like, I think it is legitimately true in the case of Travis. So I lean to the Jaguars side. I understand the Browns theory on the chalkboard, right? We want to get future picks 2026. We want to be able to move off the Deshaun Watson contract after this 2025 reload year. We want to have the draft capital move up for a great quarterback in the 26 draft. I totally understand the theory. It's just hard for me to trade out of the Travis Hunter pick because I rate Hunter that highly. I consider him that highly. For the Jaguars, it is a ambitious and aggressive investment for a first-year general manager and for a first-year head coach, especially because Hunter requires careful management and coaching, simply because you have to manage his snaps. You have to manage his expectations. You have to make sure the player feels good about, he's very committed to playing two ways and having those opportunities, but you also have to acknowledge he's 185 pounds playing a 17-game NFL season, and you have to find a middle ground there accordingly. So it's going to be an active process figuring out where Travis Hunter plays, how many snaps he plays, but they clearly believe in the player, and they're going to spend a lot of time figuring that out. So I lean Jaguars, but I don't hate it for the Browns.
Are you a Gladstone guy? His intro speech. What were your thoughts when you heard that? If
James Gladstone is successful, it's great news for me because I'll be able to sneak into the Jaguars building just by put a Jaguars pullover on, because apparently I look like the guy. Everybody keeps telling me that I'm the one who traded up to Travis Hunter. Gladstone represents. Can we
get a picture of Gladstone quickly and try to put it up in a split screen with our friends?
It was when he first took the podium at the combine, because I was there at the combine, and I just got like 9 texts from people that were like, "Why are you up at the combine?" Okay, haha, very funny. And then I saw him, and I was like, okay, actually, I see it a little bit. Gladstone represents a the kind of the frontier of general managing, and that the guys at this position have gotten remarkably more aggressive in the last 10 or 15 years, right? Young general managers, analytics-oriented general managers, even the older guard who's sharper, they're all becoming more willing to make big moves and then move off them quickly if they don't work. They're willing to accept a lot more risk. It's how you see, like, game theory and poker operate, right? Where it's like, if we start to put math to this, we realize we can actually take on a lot more risk and still be successful. I think that is a good push that's going to help modernize the game. It's going to make off seasons more interesting. It's going to make team rebuilds go faster. Like, I think it's all going to be very, very good. So I'm a Gladstone fan. I will say he's feeling himself, right? And I think that I would encourage all, I think I would encourage all general managers to do is to consider what happens if this doesn't work and I get quote tweeted. And right now, James Gladstone is talking like he is positive that this Travis Hunter trade, like he has seen the future. And I worry for the man if it doesn't go great in year one. Mason Graham's winning defensive rookie of the year and Hunter, whatever. So you have to be aggressive, but be willing to play the mouse when you're in front of the microphone, so you don't get in trouble with the media.
But he was feeling himself. It's like he puts the stones in Gladstone.
He was taking a big whiff of himself. I appreciate it. He's living, man.
He was taking a big whiff of himself. I love that. Short break here. We're going to talk to Ben Solak through that break, of course, on YouTube.